Okay.
Coach Neil,
Yes, go ahead, Merly. At si Merly.
yeah, I have two more. I want them to introduce themselves. One is Pastor Michael. He's from Kamputao
Pastor
Alliance Church.
Michael.
And one is where na ba?
Hello.
Yeah,
Good evening po.
Taga saan po kayo, Pastor Michael?
Sa ano po, Kamputao Alliance Church sa center po ng Cebu.
Alliance.
Yes, currently po may church planting tayo sa Asturias.
Okay. Sige po.
and
Sino
one
pa
more
isang
is
pakikilala mo? Kimberly ba?
si Mark Mark Agipo. Pastor Mark.
Mark?
Yeah.
Diyan ba? Mark? Pastor Mark, where are you?
Mark, introduce yourself.
Wala siya. Yeah.
Walang stop.
Unmute. Wala pa yata.
He's from
Wala siya sa list.
He's from
Okay.
Tayud Alliance Church, actually.
Okay po.
And
We
Kimber,
are also starting Davao Center pala in August. So meron din palang Davao Center. So after hearing this and then you find that you have friends na pwede po ipakilala sa amin, we would be happy to accommodate po ang TNET program. So for those who are hearing this the first time, ano po yung TNET? TNET is a church transformation program or process. No, nasa 4 hanggang 7 taon, no, we will help our churches transform from its traditional setup to completely disciple making. Would you like to see your members active in sharing the gospel, helping other believers grow, and equipping workers for the harvest field, not only the pastor? So that's the TNET process. Aside from that, so if you're gonna study TNET as the student, you will also become the trainer for your church. Kasi lahat po na aaralin nyo, ituturo nyo sa inyong lay leaders. Kasi you'll be equipping them to handle. Aside from that, you need the support of your leadership team that they are willing to go through the transformation process together with you. No? So you have to convince them to come on board, and support your initiative to transform. No? Not because the church is lacking or in error, but just that we want to really be effective to reach more people for Christ. Okay, and then makita po natin not only that is there will be pastors produced from our ministry. There will also be church planting initiatives set out. Okay, so that's TNET. So ang goal po ng TNET is to finish the Great Commission in the entire country by saturating every province, city. So in other words, when you sign up for TNET, you're signing up not only yourself, but your own church that you would like to depend on the power of God through the help of the TNET training program to transform how the church is. Na maging healthy siya sa pag-aalagad at pagpa-plant, pag-multiply ng movement ni Jesus. Okay, so before we go forward with our orientation, I will be... Teka, na-record ko ba? It's recording naman, no? Yeah. Okay. So I will be sharing to you a video, no, from our that was done locally na to introduce a bit more about our TNET program. Okay pa? Sige po, let me do that just now. Mali pong video, teka lang pa. I'll go back. Sorry, be there our wrong ano. Okay. Yan po talaga nangyayari. Minsan kala natin ayos na, hindi pa pala. Technical delay lang po, pero we will be able to handle it by the grace of God. Okay, ready na po ako. Okay, I'm sharing my screen and playing the video now.
The outcry for international disciple making in the global church has never been as loud and clear as it is today. The urgency of the gospel in our day and time is undeniable. TNET, or Training Network, was founded in 1991 by Dr. Bill Hull to work alongside pastors whose desire is to grow healthy, multiplying churches. The vision is to provide access and training to equip pastors and church leaders towards sequential disciple making and saturations of church planting. TNET today is renamed Teleo Network. The Greek word teleo means to bring to a close or to finish, to complete, or to fulfill a command. Teleo encapsulates our mission to coach pastors and church leaders to finish the Great Commission among their congregations, regions, and in the world. We believe in the call for all Christ followers to finish the Great Commission with no nation left unreached. The mandate to reach all nations or ethnos ends at zero. Hence, the initiative is called Project Zero. Plan 180 aims to produce trained, indigenous Christian leaders assembling together to create a path for the gospel in their own country to start the movement, thus making a 180-degree shift in the destiny of their nation, reorienting them towards Jesus Christ through our unique, distinct disciple-making process. The Great Commission ends at zero. TNET begins a first-generation center in a country with 25 to 40 pastors and church leaders, training them through our 10 core courses, one course every 4 months, with seasoned practitioners coaching them to revitalize their ministries into disciple-making churches and launch their own church planting movements. Currently, we are in 40 countries with 11,000 pastors and church leaders being equipped to revitalize churches to go back to its disciple-making roots and initiate church planting movements around the world. Teleo University supports this global initiative by providing affordable, accessible, accredited degrees to pastors and church leaders who are after the same pursuit and purpose. Affordable, accessible, accredited degrees, Certificate in Christian Ministry, Bachelor's in Pastoral Ministry, Masters of Divinity, and Doctor of Ministry. Let's all take part in being catalysts as we finish the Great Commission and create disciple-making movements within your neighborhood, city, country, and eventually, the world. Matthew 28 verses 19 to 20. Then Jesus came to them and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." The out
Okay po, lang po, I'll spotlight myself so that you can see me. Okay, so you can see me now. So TNET, the history niya, it began with Dr. Bill Hull, who grew up with the Navigators. No? So he is an author of many disciple-making books. And if you search the net, you'll see major writings like the Discipleship Handbook, Disciple Making Church, Disciple Making Pastor. These are all works of Dr. Bill Hall. So in 1991, he worried about the church kasi the traditional church is no longer producing disciple makers who makes disciples among the lay. So which is a big problem kasi po, ibig sabihin, pastor ang nagtatrabaho, the lay people are not inactive. So he wanted to develop a program to bring the church back to its disciple-making roots, meaning lay people, discipling lay people, discipling lay people. Okay, so he brought in another guy, Dr. Bob Gilliam. Ito naman siya naman ay church growth consultant. So he is top 3 in the US then. He turned around more than 1,000 churches that are already depleting or dying para bumalik po sa church health. So these two, they collaborated and with a team of people developed the TNET program. No? So yung original version of TNET, it cost them $2 million to complete. Okay, so they birthed TNET 1991 under the Evangelical Free Church. Pero currently po TNET is global with many countries with around at least 15,000 students globally studying the program. No? And the goal is the same. Revitalize my church and plant churches that make disciples. Okay, sa amin po ang definition po ng revitalized church, no? 75% and up are in small groups. No? Believers na sinashare po ng gospel, they end up, being followed up and then brought into a small group that will disciple them. Okay, and they plant other disciple-making churches, di know how. No, so may mga ganun pong mga needed. No? Yung growth po na conversion mas mataas kaysa population growth. These are all principles taught to us from the work of Dr. Bill Hall and his team. Okay, so yan po yung pinanggalingan ng TNET. Okay, so yung unang president was Dr. Bill Hall. After 6 years, he passed the president to his then co-developer of TNET, si Dr. Bob Gilliam. And siya medyo matagal po siya. No, that is from 1996 to 2015. And our current president since 2015 is Dr. Jake Loffenstein. These are the leadership team. And then we already have a global leadership team. Meron pong Asia Director, Africa Director, North America Director. We have already expanded in many places. Ang pinakamalaki po natin still Africa. Malaki po ang TNET sa Africa. Now the mission is TNET is to finish the Great Commission. Hindi po to fulfill or to participate, to finish, tapusin. Now to gather all the churches, okay, to finish it, to reach all the people of the world. By raising, sabi niya, indigenous leaders, local church lay leaders, who will plant church, start movements, multiply disciple makers in each of the countries of the world. So that's the target of TNET, tapusin. Okay? Now this is our goal, no, that we will be able to cover the 230 plus countries by 2042. Okay, by spreading training all over. These are the current countries we are in. Okay, and some of the countries that are closed access are not listed. Okay, so there are more than 40 countries already where TNET is growing. Okay, so ngayon currently, TNET Philippines is the strongest movement in Asia as of now. And that is a miracle from God, an answered prayer. So kwento ko lang po ang TNET. No? This is not the first time TNET went into the Philippines. This is the third time. Okay, the first 2 times didn't work out na dumami, unlike this third time, no, where we were able to propagate the TNET program well. And I'll explain why later. So in 2016, meron ko may first generation of training in Manila. No? It was hosted by my home church, United Evangelical Church of the Philippines. Our trainers were from IDN Singapore. No? So local organizations that supported this, Wavemakers Inc., kilala po ng iba sa inyo, and another is NDM Philippines where I came from. So we supported the entry of TNET in the Philippines and we became the first batch of students. Okay, so 2016, yung mga local students po, we started opening our own centers and we were the teachers. So we were able to open 5 Generation 2 centers in Luzon to train 100 pastors. And then in the same year, we have an all-Filipino board, local board to manage the movement. Kasi we are already at that time, more than 100 students studying the TNET. 2020 was nanganak na po ng third generation ng 2020. No? We were able to open 17 and trainings in Luzon reached to 300 pastors. And it's in 2021 that yung Gen 1 graduated in April. 19 graduated Masters of Divinity and 1 in Bachelors of Pastoral Ministry. Okay, and then we also started to have our own office, which was shared with NDF Philippines. Nasa Dituasot po sa Quezon City lang po yung office namin. Doon po ako pumapasok everyday pag wala po akong training trips and orientation trips. And then 2022, we started to go into Visayas and Mindanao na po. At the same time, we are seeing regional teams happening in Luzon. Specifically, Region 3 sa Nueva Ecija, Region 1 sa Baguio, okay, are forming na as regional centers. And then they're already planning how to reach the entire region. So yun yung nangyari sa Luzon, whereas sa Visayas and Mindanao, initiatives pa lang po, may bagong center. And then we also completed our ATA accreditation. So our degrees are accredited by ATA. Ito po yung local board. Okay, so some of you know Pastor Greg, Pastor Randolph. From CBAP, we have Dario and Pastor Ed. Sa CJOL, we have Pastor Oni Abante. And then from Wavemakers also, si Pastor Mario Vincent Cayabyab. Then we have 2 more who are not. Si Pastor Greg is our board secretary. Meron pa pong Pastor Jerry Season is also our board member. Okay, hindi na po updated to. We'll be updating this slide kasi na-promote na po si Pastor Dario. He is now the Northern Luzon and Central Luzon Director for TNET Philippines. Kasi sa Cabanatuan, currently we have more than 70 people studying. Under his jurisdiction, there will be around at least 300 ongoing students just in Luzon. And they were opening more. Okay, so paano po nangyayari? No? When you study TNET, meron pong dalawang aspects na kailangan natin gawin. I will study for 5 days and then I will go home and implement assignments. Anong assignment? No? The first assignment is related to church revitalization. Paano ko po gagawing disciple making yung buong church? No? That, kunyari, I have 100 members, 75 of them are involved in disciple making and getting more people into the church. So yan yung idea ng church revitalization. Okay, so we do that by developing what we call the 6 parts of disciple-making church, yung infrastructure niya. Or how do you manage a disciple-making movement type of church? No, yun po yung part ng training. Okay, we will not go into detail, pero yun yung pinag-aaralan namin. Second naman is we plant disciple-making churches to fill up every barangay with churches. Pero we do house church. Okay, and each TNET church, they're suggested to plant 2 new ones every year. Again, pag sinabi namin church planting, hindi po siya building. Okay, it's or facilities or may worship service. It's simply an outreach in an area with the intent of becoming a church. Okay, so it could be like I currently ang outreach ko po is in an office. The boss is a Christian, then he asked us to help. So we have 10 small groups inside that office. Okay, discipleship groups na nasa early stage outreach pa lang. So by mid of the year, magta-transfer na po yung mga groups into growth. And then by next year, we will be equipping some of them to serve as group leaders in the office. And then later, maybe that office ministry could have their own worship. So something like that. So that's church planting. Okay, low cost po siya, pero high effectivity. So yan po yung TNET implementation. Okay, so sa church planting, we have what we use the DMM or Disciple Making Movement 6 steps of church planting. So we do not also go to detail, pero meron kami mga programa na ipinapatakbo. Each of those numbers means something and has a program. Okay, so yun po yun. So patatakbuhin natin, train po tayo ng tao sa church natin, i-deploy natin sila to start ministries, okay, outside of the church. So ano pa yung ibang things na ginagawa ng TNET? First we do is modular training. No? 10 courses po si TNET. Each course is 40 hours in 5 days. Okay, and we do 3 subjects a year only per center. No? So, ibig sabihin, matatapos mo yung 10 courses in 3.5 years. No? So, they are what we call local centers. Okay, so we currently have around 33 centers na po. Okay, within the year, lalagpas po ng 40 yan. Kasi nga, we now have more trainers who want to train. Okay, so 10 courses, 40 hours, 3.5 years. Modular. So meaning we bring the training to you, and after 5 days, you're back serving in your church and applying the principles and doing implementation in your ministry. Okay, so whatever you're doing in the ministry, enhance po by using the TNET principles. Second po, there's what we call implementation coaching. No? You will be guided by your trainer on how you will effectively implement step by step the TNET program in your congregation. So tutulungan po kayo i-check. Okay, how will you be able to develop the 8 building blocks in the next 4 years so that you will be assured na yung church talaga set na for disciple making. Hindi hype, no? Talaga it's set to reproduce. So these are some of the things your coach will be talking with you. No? So aside from the 5-day training, may monthly coaching session with your trainers or coach. Okay, and then another is saturation church planting. Again, we're using a house church movement model and also using OBBS, Obedience-Based Bible Study, or DBS, Discovery Bible Study. It's a simple way of multiplying small groups in communities, okay, to start church planting initiatives. And maybe some of our people later will share ano yung mga ginawa nila. Like ako nga, may office ako. Tapos some naman, malakas sila campus. Meron naman talaga is barangay, kabilang barangay, next town. No? So depende po kasi sa sitwasyon ng lugar. How will you multiply disciples? Who makes disciples? Another is yun nga, disciple making small group using Discovery Bible Study. That's our primary model of small group. Kasi it's economical, it's affordable, and it's effective. It spreads quickly. So it's the Bible study tool na kaya po ng lay leaders gamitin immediately. Kailangan lang niya po Bible, notebook, ballpen. No printed materials for the Discovery Bible Study. Pero effective po siya. So it's working out very well for many churches right now. Even those churches where the leaders are very learned kasi they started to participate in discovering truth for themselves. Okay, and of course, all students must train others. So 10 courses po yan. Pagkatapos ng pang-5 course, ikaw naman ay magte-train ng ibang pastor. Bakit po? That will be part of your teaching and training practicum. Okay, kasi that's part of the grading. Now, all students will later train other pastors. Okay, so that's how we multiply centers. It's part of your study. Kasi imposible na makakuha ng MD just attending 10 courses. Meron ka pang what we call teaching practicum and coaching practicum where you train others. Which means, as you become master trainers of our modules, you'll be even more effective to train your own local church. Okay po, yun po yung ginagawa natin. Become a trainer of trainers. Okay, so yan po yung mga key facets of TNET. No? So it's 10 courses. After every course, may assignment. The assignment, isa-set up nyo po yung Church for Disciple Making and train church planters. Tapos after 3 to 4 months with coaching, second module, meron namang iaayos na ibang part naman ng infrastructure. Kaya the transformation of the church will take 4 to 7 years. Okay, then you will see a completely transformed, revitalized ng tawag natin church. That is reproducing disciples who makes disciples. No? Many generations of disciples. Okay, ito po yung gusto na itsura. Okay, so lay leaders rise up. That's the goal of TNET. So once you sign up for TNET, you're not signing up. You're signing up your entire church. Okay, and prayerfully desiring a 4 to 7 year transformation process. Okay, to equip all your lay leaders and deploy them over ministry. Okay, of making other disciples. Okay, so I'd like to now show you a endorsement video from one of our good friends who is passionate about disciple making. So maybe some of you know about him. So papakita lang natin yung video shortly. And then I'll do some more information. And then we have lots of time for question and answer.
Hi everyone. Reviving the church is a complex thing. Each church has its own unique challenges, and none of us have all the answers. But we do face a common problem. Chronic spiritual infancy is the ecclesiastical norm of the global church. Superficiality, immaturity, and mediocrity characterize too many Christians. The focus of the church have shifted from making disciples to merely making converts. Many have not owned the Great Commission personally, and intentional disciple making is the exception rather than the norm. In spite of all the well-intentioned disciple making slogans, few go beyond mere rhetoric to actually engage in being, reproducing, and multiplying through disciples of Christ. But God is on the move. God has raised up vital disciple-making movements. For this singular reason, I thank the Lord for TNET. God has raised TNET up for the distinct purpose of returning the church to her disciple-making roots. The vision of the training network, or TNET for short, began with my esteemed friend Bill Hull in 1991. Bill Hull brought in church consultant Bob Gillum to develop TNET together. And they nurtured it in the early days under the umbrella of the Evangelical Free Church of America. Thus, during my sabbatical in 1993-94, I got myself acquainted with the TNET course. I was auditing classes at the Trinity Evangelical Divinity School, and I was inspired by TNET. It was introduced to us as students, and I relished a shared passion for intentional disciple making with Bill Hull. We were kindred spirits, and I had the first grasp of church infrastructure with Bob Gillum over a quiet dinner conversation. Oh, I was thrilled about TNET because TNET brings a mindset change to local churches. And TNET has an impressive track record for developing and multiplying disciple-making churches. More impressively, TNET has a comprehensive curriculum for developing pastors and leaders to lead and transform churches. May God help us all to anchor in authentic discipleship and in intentional disciple making. I thank the Lord for TNET, and I will enthusiastically endorse his disciple making ministry because it is used by God in these days for a global discipleship movement that will make a difference. Thank the Lord for your ministry in TNET. Continue to grow and return the church to its disciple-making roots. God bless you.
Okay, so ito na po yung situation. We started in Manila, Generation 1 in 2016. 20 students po kami. And then our 20 students started 5 centers 2 years after. After finishing the 5th course, we started training other churches and pastors. And it was a good review for what we learned and also how we have how to upgrade our implementation. So by 2019 po, there were 17 centers that were open in different places, Generation 3. And then nagkaroon po tayo ngayon ng Generation 4 centers na. So by Generation 4, if all goes well, I guess we will reach around 50 centers na from the 23 Generation 3 centers. We can open at least 50 plus centers nationwide by the grace of God. Kasi ngayon nasa first 3 courses pa lang itong mga Gen 3. So once they surpass course 5, ayan na mag-start sila ng centers. Each center, usually they will start another 3 or 4 centers. Okay, and then we also started what we call S-curve or new centers to reach farther places. Like we have Cebu right now, Nueva Ecija, and many others. Meron din tayong tribal na TNET. Okay. So, ang statistics po natin ngayon, we are, ito, yan. Our current recent statistics as of February 14, there are 534 students from 261 churches, and there are a total of 33 centers. No? So, yan po yun. So, first generation kami po yun. No? Then, we have 5 next generation, they finished 10 courses. Tapos itong 16 na third generation, they're struggling to finish all 10 courses, and then meron ng 4 na ipinanganak na center. No, S-curve centers namin, may 6 ngayon, pero like our Cebu Center is already ready to birth another 4 or 5 centers within the year. Okay, so yan na po yung mga situation natin. As of now, it is really phenomenal for us to reach this. No? So by 2020, by 2025, we will expect that our student will be more than 1,000 in the Philippines, and we will start going to other countries to send training there, lalo na sa Asia. Kasi so far, as of now, we are the strongest movement in Asia by the grace of God. Okay, so hopefully, so pray that graduate na yung generation 2 kasi they're due for graduation by this year or next year. And then another 2 years yung generation 3 naman mag-graduate na sila. And then so on and so forth. So this is what it is about. So let me share more about the degree program as well. Okay, ano ba inaaral sa TNET? Okay. So our degree program has ATA or Asian Theological Association accreditation. No? So what we provide is certificate, diploma, bachelor's up to MDiv and MA in church growth. So may diba, pero usually when you apply, we'll offer you first to join the MDiv in pastoral ministry. Pero the same course, it could become a bachelor's or a diploma or a certificate. Okay, depende yan. Siyempre, of course, mas marami assignment yung MDiv and mas mataas yung grade requirement. Pero the content is the same. It's the same. Okay, so yan yung in-offer natin. So ito yung in-offer natin, Tier 1 Disciple Making Leadership, 10 courses of 5 days or 40 hours, which happens every 4 months. It could be applied for as a certificate, diploma, bachelor, or master's, depending sa your educational standing. Okay, we have Tier 1 in Disciple Making Leadership. No? Okay, how much yung cost natin? Originally, it's 3,500 per course. Plus food and lodging as applicable. No? Pero it's now we're still at COVID rate, di pa binalik sa original fees. No? We're still applying 2,000 per course. Yeah, so yun pa rin yun, 20,000. So every course, mabayad siya 2,000. Kasi if they're taking a bachelor or an MDiv, they pay another 3,000 pesos per year for admin fees. We pay to Teleo University to process our degree. Okay, so the total cost for the MDiv will be 29,000 per student in 3.5 years. Okay, so it's very affordable po. No, so it's something that you or your church can handle, yung cost, especially if you see the benefits. Okay, we have also the TNET Lite program, that's for lay leaders. This one is depende po yan. No? So if we go to an area na mas hindi nila kaya yung master level, kasi most of the people are elementary graduate or high school graduate lang, then we offer this alternative. Pero hindi ito yung frontline degree program natin. Pero this one already has Tagalog version. Yung Cebuano version, medyo in the process of translating. Okay, itong light version is 1,000 per course times 9 courses plus food and lodging as applicable. Depende po kasi yan sa host church. Okay, so this is TNET Philippines. Okay, ito po yung mga picture ng center. I will not show you that first. I'll stop the sharing here and give you opportunity to ask questions. I'll remove the spotlight and put us in gallery. Okay, so that you can ask your questions. concerns or certain things you want to clarify. Okay, thank you for everyone who is here. Meron pa po kayong tanong? Wala pong bayad magtanong. Mag-unmute lang po tayo at magtanong. Meron kayong katanungan na maka-benefit for everyone? Or maybe some of our other trainers who are present can share a bit of your TNET journey para ma-encourage po yung mga ibang tao. Pastor Dario, nasa meeting ka ba?
Yeah, basta hindi. Okay lang, nakikinig ako. One of the common questions po kasi regarding TNET ay meron na kaming ginagamit na materials. Anong gagawin namin? Isasantabi ba namin yung materials namin? You know, na-encourage ako the other day. I was talking to a GIL pastor na napakaganda ng kanilang curriculum sa GIL. Pero sabi niya, ang laking naitulong nung TNET sa amin kasi sa aming curriculum na ginagamit ngayon, church planting, small group, pero inorganize, inayos ni TNET lahat ng mga ito. Nilagay niya yung tamang infrastructure na ilagay niya sa ayos. So sabi ko, na-encourage ako ng husto na ito yung pastor with 1,764 members and yet very active sa pag-aaral sa TNET ngayon. Dahil sabi niya, ang dami-dami kong natutunan. Maganda yung aming curriculum pero mas inayos ng TNET. So, salamat sa Panginoon yung mga testimony na kagaya na noon. Ang TNET pala ay fitted siya kahit sa mga nagsisimula pa lamang na nag-church planting at maging dun sa mga organized na malalaking grupo. Yun lang gusto kong i-share. Pastor Laya.
Is tama po yan. When we apply TNET in our church, hindi po bubuwagin yung church at papalitan. No? It's i-enhance, i-manage better. Ipagdudugtong-tugtong lahat ng ministries para ang product niya, nag-alagad ang lahat ng miyembro. No? Majority of the members are involved in helping another in their journey with Jesus. So yun yung idea po ni TNET, not to destroy but to enhance. May mga denomination po meron silang curriculums pero hindi po tumatakbo. Okay? And TNET has the answer why hindi siya tumatakbo. Meron yun I heard of several groups who have a comprehensive curriculum pero our small groups are not working out. So if they study TNET, then they will see, ito yung mga kulang, isusupplement niya para tumakbo yung programa. Okay, so it will really help your existing program. Pastor, okay. Pastor Gilbert, ano yung nakita niyo pwedeng questions na gusto niyo i-clarify? Or anyone else from the group that has questions? Or happy na kayo? Kasi mahihain tayo.
So far po, wala po.
Okay. I'm going to, anyway, lalagay ko po sa chat yung registration link. Okay, so please click the registration link para pumasok kayo sa registration link and then we could get your information. No? So that's a new student registration link. Tas, it means that you're interested. Tapos kukontakin po kayo ng center heads. No? Pwede rin po i-type ng center leader ng iba-ibang grupo yung contact number nila para pwedeng kopyahin mo na nga nandito and they can contact you directly. Siguro, Pastor Day, can you put your for Oriental Mindoro? Sino po yung contact natin for si Pastor Jonathan Ernacio, palagay yung contact mo for the hindi, si Pastor Dane na pala yung contact ng Oriental Mindoro. No, sa Abra po, sino ang contact person natin? Pastor Dario.
Si Pastor Danilo Inon.
Pwede po natin ilagay yung contact number niya or information niya. Sana. And then, Pastor Jonathan, ang may balak sila mag-start ng Caloocan Center. Pwede mo siya lagay na lang po sa chat so people can look for you. After our orientation.
Pastor
Cebu
Leo.
Center? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, gusto nating i-recognize, kasama kasi natin dito yung chairman namin ng North Manila District ng ng CBAP, si Pastor Joe Ramos. Ayan.
Hello, Pastor
baka
Joe.
Ano
po siyang, North Manila?
North Manila
CBAP
ng
po.
CBAP.
Okay, sakto po kasi nga meron din dito ermita. So,
baka may tanong ka, Pastor Joe.
Wala pa, Pastor.
Wala pa.
Wala pa.
Pastor
na
Joe,
lang
ilan
yung
pong churches sa North Manila District?
30 po.
Wow.
30.
Siya dapat yung kausap natin na mag-orient tayo nung nakaraang linggo, hindi natuloy, Pastor Leo.
Yeah, we can still organize orientations if you need us to come in and explain to your group or friends more about the TNET program. That will really help. Pero the best way is for you to attend the first course and decide for yourself. Wala pong loss kasi yung course 1 pa lang, loaded na ng mga good stuff that you can immediately apply and use for your church. Then from there, you can decide, is this really for my ministry? No, pero you will not regret kasi po napakadami talaga ng resources na provide ni TNET na pinag-aralan nila mabuti kasi nga yung original set, they already cost them $2 million to develop. Okay, tas binibigay lang nila sa atin na murang-mura. Pastor Day is our contact for Oriental Mindoro. Actually, you can just click the link and sign up. Tas lahat kayo, yung mga information nyo, ibibigay namin sa respective centers so that they can contact you. Okay,
Ano po
if you can click the link sa chat.
Tanong po ako. Ano po ang requirement na educational attainment nung pwede po mag-enroll?
Okay, so kasi if you're yung tier 1, pwede pong from certificate to MDiv. So depende po sa kanya, baliktad, no? Ano educational level niya? So sabi niya elementary graduate siya, willing siya mag-aral, apply siya for the certificate only. Pero magkakaklase lahat. Yun lang, ang question yun, kakayanin niya ba yung master level content? Kasi may mga kilala ko, they've not really studied. So wala silang opportunity to study that much. Pero po, ang capability naman nila makinig at mag-aral mataas. Kasi nga, ang pastor walang choice kundi mag-aral. Totoo po yan, di ba? Kung di gusto mag-aral ng bata, pag nagpastor, nagiging aral. So they have the capability to learn and study. So yun po yun. So we provide up to MDiv. Siyempre pag MDiv, bachelor's ang requirement. Okay, ang difference lang po yung grading requirements. So kunyari, ang MDiv, ang passing grade is 3. Highest grade is kunyari 4, passing grade niya 3. Si bachelor 2, pasado na. Tapos kunyari yung MDiv, meron silang paper na 40 pages towards the end of the course. Yung bachelor, 20 lang. Yung diploma and certificate, oral report lang siya, wala siyang written paper. So ganun po yung difference lang. In terms of sa output niya, different, pero yung aaralin niya, same. Yung gagawin niya sa church, same. Ang difference lang, ano yung mga requirement to get the degree. Yun lang po.
Siguro kasama niyan, Pastor Leo, may tanong dito, is it possible po ba kahit Sunday school teacher sa mga bata is able to apply?
Yes, pero kasi the Sunday school teacher is not our primary target student, but the pastor. Kasi the pastor can train the Sunday school teacher. So, pero if you see that the Sunday school teacher you're recruiting is your potential ministry team for the future, in other words, siya yung key leader ng church, nagkataon assign niya Sunday school and you want to recruit the person to help you implement, pwede po.
So mas maganda po kung kasama ni Sunday school teacher si pastor, ano po?
O, kasi hindi niya kaya turuan si pastor. Yun ang problema.
Yes.
At siya mismo aayaw. Kasi you want to train your leaders. So, kaya ang primary to po is pastor.
Opo, as much as possible, ini-encourage po natin yung mga pastor yung a-attend. Kasi pagka yung member yung a-attend, tapos hindi umattend yung pastor, ang mangyayari, gusto niyang implement sa church, hindi yun yung program ni pastor. Madi-discourage lang siya eh.
Ako po hindi ako senior pastor when I studied TNET, but I have the endorsement and support of my senior pastor to implement the program. So possible basta meron kang sanction ng senior pastor na patatakbuhin at susuportahan yung programa. Ideal po yung senior pastor pero hindi po always possible.
Yeah. Nakalagay dito pala, pastor, may follow-up question si yun kasing pastor daw nila is may illness na. So hindi na siya kayang mag-aral.
Yeah. So dapat talaga may ibang leader or lay leader. Siguro maganda example yung Santa Cruz Center namin. Santa Cruz Center namin, the pastors, dalawa of them, they wanted to study TNET. Pero they were disallowed by their elders of the church. Yung reason ng elders of the church was they already have studied in the Bible school. Why they need further training? No? So, obviously, ang lase, hindi po sila. Ang lase ay church elders. Kasi pwede silang bawalan mag-aral eh. No? So, nangyari po is we set a meeting and I sat down with the leaders of the church to explain about TNET. And the result was, yung 4 na church leader na lalaki, naging estudyante rin namin. So, instead of the 2 pastors, 6 sila na lalaki, no? And pastor's wife, 7 total ang nag-join. And the impact was absolute kasi bakit? Kasi yung mga elders na pwedeng kumontra, sila yung kakampi niya sa pag-implement. So the process was really pwede yun, no? Kasi church, kasi hindi decision maker si pastor, mahirapan siya. So natangay niya yung elders and it was really helpful. Unlike po kay Pastor Gregor Roasa, sila po talaga is all the pastors studied. Tapos they're training their ang tawag nila core of servant leaders. Okay, kasi yun yung structure po nila. And since the main pastor, si Pastor Greg, he is the senior pastor of the entire denomination, independent denomination nila. So talagang everyone listens and follows ano yung plan. So it worked very fast, kaya umabot sila ng 21 church. Nung pandemic, umabot sila ng 200 small groups. Yun yung unang mark. Tapos bigla na lang nagkaroon na sila ng mga church planting initiatives out of the blue. Also during the pandemic. Pero even through the pandemic, no, umabot sila ng 21 church plants. From 8, naging 21. And then yung last nga nila is they reported they started a national office to supervise all the 21. Kasi nung 8 pa, kaya ni senior pastor nung main. Yung 21 na, soko na siya. Kaya nag-establish na po sila ng national office. Okay, so these are all breakthroughs they discovered after they applied na TNET. No? So maganda po sa kanila when we met each other, they are highly strong in evangelism. They really apply evangelism very well. They share at least to 2,000 people every year. Tapos na-apply nila yung purpose-driven church na principles. So they're really a progressive church. Pero nung tinanong namin, of all the people you share the gospel to, who comes to church? Nagblako yung mukha ng mga pastor. Wala po. Because the lay people are not equipped to bring someone into the process of becoming Christ-like disciple. Wala. Hanggang evangelism. Yun. So after they did the TNET, gano'n na po, lumaki na yung ministry kasi they started to train and equip their lay leaders to not just catch fish, but to grow the sheep and, mobilize shepherds. Yun po. Okay, in church ko po, 95 years old na po. So through the TNET program, we have completely embraced disciple making. Before the pandemic, we were able to reach 130 small groups. Although nagkaroon ng problema during pandemic, medyo nag-decrease and may mga struggles. Nag-reorganize po ngayon. Pero we saw that there was a phenomenal impact. Not only sa church namin, pero yung aming independent denomination din, we have almost 30 daughter churches nationwide. So siguro more than half are applying TNET. So we challenge the pastors to attend and apply. And also easy po magkapag-usap. Ano nangyari sa model group mo? Nanganak na ba ng group? Meron ka na ba 3 levels ng group? Paano mo ini-equip ang small group leaders? Paano mo sila minomotivate? Ano yung mga outreach programs na nag-work, ano hindi nag-work? Those are questions that we ask in terms of applying the principles. Sino yung mga church planter apprentices mo? Ano na yung mga progress nila? Okay, these are all questions that you will learn from TNET. Okay, so again, when you go to TNET, it will be better if you're not alone. Maganda po meron kang churchmate na kaklase. Kasi maganda po may kausap and may kakampi. Get an influential person to come. If they quit after course 1, at least you're there on your side. Lalo na kung ano ba yung issue nun. May isang church leader lumapit sa akin. Pastor, bakit po madam? Sabi niya, yung mga pastor namin all these years lagi na lang kami back to basic. Nakasampung basic na yata ako. Pag may bagong pastor, start na naman kami sa basic. Yun. So parang nawala na, hindi na sila naniniwala sa pastor kasi lagi na lang silang bumabalik daw sa basic. Yun yung reality, no? So after a while, siyempre if there's no progress in the ministry, minsan ay maniwala ng leaders natin. No? So nawawala yung faith nila sa pastors. Pero we do not give up, no? So slowly, as we apply principles, they will see changes talaga. Pastor Joe?
Coach, merong question.
Sige.
Tatanong ko lang po
Bagong
kung
question.
tatanong ko po sana kung yung possibility even in the future na maano po ng SO kasi kung kukuha po ng mas higher na degree hindi lamang pong MD ano po ba yun?
Opo. Kasi kaya po wala tayong SO. We already inquired with the ATA Philippines if we should go for an SO. We have several problems. One, our degree is from the US, not from the Philippines.
Okay.
So, CHED-wise, mahirap po siya i-apply. That's one. Two, SO kasi very much for educators, not for church planters.
Okay.
So, if they're looking for further studies in theology, TNET is not where they should be. They should go to the institution that offers the SO. Na-inquire ko na po yan mismo sa director po ng ATA na si Ma'am Tess Lua. Sabi niya, your dilemma is getting an SO from CHED is not the mission of your training program. Yeah, kaya sabi niya, leave it to the seminaries na mayroong SO kasi mas may sense na they do further study sa theology, church history, diba, sa biblical interpretation, which is not TNET. TNET kasi talaga is organizational management of the church. Hindi, wala ka ng further study na available. Kaya ganun po. Yeah, so yun po. So, so far, ang unanimous agreement po ng board is hindi namin siya ipapasok sa CHED. We will not register a local seminary. We will continue to be a training arm of Tele University in Minnesota. Kaya po yung SO po, di ba? Pero naintindihan ko po yun kasi big deal po yung SO dahil marami po tayong pastor that they're also bivocational and they're teaching in the public school. Kasi outreach rin siya. Pero so far, as per our leadership and purpose, hindi po kasi mag-work si SO. Yun po yung sagot niya. Naintindihan ko po yun yung ano ngayon ng seminary. Yeah.
Sa certificate or hindi naman certificate po ba, diploma?
Yes
Ang
po.
nakalagay po ng pangalan ay
Teleo University.
Ateneo. Apa. Thank you pa.
So that is our seminary in the US. Pero yung seminary, it's a virtual seminary. Hindi po siya actual school. Kasi talaga ang students natin lahat ay modular globally. So we have 14,000 yung last count nila eh. Students globally studying the TNET degree program. So ang 11,000 doon, Africa. Tapos yung 3,000 hati-hati na kami lahat. Yeah, yun po yun. So we continue to be an extension program. So we will not compete with that. So ano rin po, ang tanong ba competition ba siya sa seminary? Hindi po. We prefer nga seminary graduate na. Ang kulang po kasi sa seminary, wala po masyadong tinuturo sa practical ministry.
Puro po theory.
Puro po theology, Bible interpretation, how to teach the word. So okay naman yun, pero si TNET kasi very practical ministry, how to manage the church, ang pinaka how to manage the church. Yes, Pastor
Coach,
Bo,
may
go
question
ahead.
dito. Mayroon po bang age requirement? Currently, college
21.
student pa lang po kasi ako.
21.
Pero yung senior pastor namin po, nag-encourage na to join them.
21 bale ang required age.
So sa
21 years
ideal,
old.
yun sa ideal local church na dapat mag-enroll para mai-run ang program,
Opo.
dapat ilan?
Isang
Sa pastor,
center,
dapat
15. Isang center, 50. You mean isang local church? Ilan
Opo,
estudyante
sa
ang
isang local
sasali?
church, kunyari, di ba?
Ideally, 2 or 3 is enough.
2 or 3.
Ganito po kasi yan, may mga assignments. So for example, the assignment is start a church planting outreach. Kung 3 kayong nagtatrabaho nun versus isa, iba po yung hatian ng trabaho. Kasi yung assignment nyo is sa church. Meron pong individual assignment, like for example, taking your exam or doing your reading, individual assignment. Pero kasi marami pong assignment is church implementation. So in other words, kung 3 kayong gumawa or isa yung gumawa, hati lang naman yan sa grade. Yeah, so maganda po kung 2 or 3, pero marami pong case solo, like si Pastor Joe Ernacio, solo. So that's also okay. Yeah. Pero kung may katuwang ka, it's easier. Pero in many cases kasi walang katuwang. Although ang maging katuwang mo, yung mga leaders na iti-train mo. So we have actually mga, diba, our students have to conduct lay training, train their lay leaders on their own. Yun. So may mga naging church planters po at naging pastor na under the TNET program. Yung mga in-house train nila using the TNET program later became their church plant pastor. Meron po kami mga ganong cases.
Ibig sabihin, kapag natapos ang lahat ng module, every modules po ay pwedeng mai-train sa baba.
Yun po yung assignment. You have to train your lay people.
Okay.
Kasi you have to help them transform to be effective leaders. So, siguro mangyayari dyan, every time you attend class, yung 5 araw, 3 araw doon, ipapasa mo sa lay leaders mo dahan-dahan. Meron para sa'yo, meron para sa church leader training. So, you will train the entire church in effective evangelism, in yung disciple-making pathway, mga levels of maturity, ano yung mga kailangan mangyari doon sa life ng tao para siya mag-mature, paano po sila i-graduate sa next level of maturity, yan, paano mag-teach ng Bible effectively, paano magsulat ng Bible study, paano gumawa ng sermon, paano i-manage yung different types of small group, paano patakbuhin. So yun lahat is, ito-train mo sila. Pero dahan-dahan within 4 to 7 years, dahan-dahan mo sila papasahan ng training to help them also become effective in their ministry. Yun po yung TNET. Okay, so our assignment is, have you implemented it? Yes, I have implemented it. Ano yung result? Yun ang assignment. Kung result is positive, may grade. Kung negative, may grade pa rin. Kasi ang mahalaga, ginawa mo. Kasi may times sa ginawa mo, hindi na maumubra. Okay lang po yun kay Tino. Basta
Sa inyo
ginawa
pong-
mo.
Sa inyo pong pag-implement, mga ilang taon bago makatransition ang buong local church.
Ang TNET says 4 to 7 years. Ang reason ng 4 to 7 years is because maturing leaders takes time.
So 7 years po ang ibig sabihin sa loob ng 7
Between
taon.
4 to 7 years yung average.
Pinaka-maximum na year para makatransition ng buong local church.
Opo, buong local church. Kasi by that time, meron na po kayong pareho nyong pwede magpastor na na-equip nyo through your disciple-making ministry. Kaya siya 4 to 7 years.
In terms of church growth po, sa inyo pong
Opo.
karanasan, gaano ka-effective?
Yes, kasi once na you mobilize your people to grow your congregation and they start reaching and evangelizing on their own, mag-grow na yung Sunday attendance. Yung dilemma po kasi hindi naman talaga sila nag-i-invite. No, ang invitation natin is ang tawag dyan passive. Meaning, sana, sabi ni Pastor, sana mag-invite kayo next week. Pero hindi sila mag-invite kasi passive. So sa TNET, i-train sila maging active inviters. Talagang in their life, nag-share sila ng gospel. Tapos yung leader, tinitake sila, binibigyan sila accountability na talagang nagbabahagi sila ng mabagandang balita sa kanilang kamag-anak, katrabaho. No? So that they can invite people to church. So yun po yung idea na niya. So church growth, yes. No? Yung summa cum laude po natin, ang church growth niya nasa 65 to 70%. Nag-double yung Sunday attendance. Yeah. Yes po, it's gonna grow once you're able to set up 3 levels of small group. Pero hindi po siya instant. Kasi po pag si pastor nag-invite na lahat ng newcomer, nakapagod. Kailangan po yung nasa members natin, they're actively sharing the gospel. That's part of the program. How do we mobilize them and deploy them to actively win people? Once they're winning people, dadagdag po yung church attendance. Pag hindi po sila nag-win, hindi talaga. Diba? Tapos siyempre, if nag-win sila, since kakilala nila, kaya hindi sila matataguan. May makakausap talaga nila at madadala sa ministry. Pastor Dario, ano yung experience sa church growth in terms of sa TNET application? Yeah, Dario.
Sa akin, kasi yung pinagpapastoron kong church ay masyadong matanda ng simbahan. When I came in as their pastors, medyo nagayos ako ng problema. In terms of membership ay hindi kami ganun nag-grow. Pero yung church planting work namin, mula doon sa pagiging stagnant niya, I was able to convince the leaders ng church to start ng mga church planting work. And in 4-year time, we're able to plant. Sa ngayon, meron na kaming bago na 5 na bagong simbahan. And alam nyo, nakakatuwa dito, ang nag-church plant hindi yung pastor, kundi yung mga members, mga professionals ito. Engineer, doktor, superintendent ng DepEd, sila yung nagpupunta, nag-church planting kasi they were challenged through the dun sa pag-aaral namin dun sa training dun sa TNET. So yun yung nangyari sa aming iglesia. Lumalabas yung mga member, dati-dati nandun sa loob, pinag-uusapan yung kurtina ng church, pero ngayon ay nag-church planting sila. And very excited yung mga member.
Ibig sabihin, magpipit siya kahit medyo may edad ng church or bagong church.
Oh yes, yung proseso lang iba. May
Kasi
konting
ang-
difference lang sa process.
Ang mga churches po natin, kanyan different levels of sizes and even yung culture, at the same time yung kanilang kung ilang year na sila. So
Yeah, church ko po, yung nag-aaral ako is 90 years old.
Hmm.
So, it works.
Actually, pas, hindi lang sa mga sizes ng church, big or small, even dun sa circumstances. Kasi kahit pandemic, possible pa rin makapag-plant ng church. Kasi po yun
Yes.
sa amin, nakapag-plant ng church during pandemic, kalagitnaan ng pandemic, 2 years walang hindi ako nagpa-tithes and offering, yet we still initiate to church planting. Isa po sa Kamsur, 5 na barangays, tapos isa dito sa Bulacan. So ibig sabihin, hindi usapin sa money or sa circumstansya or laki o liit ng church. Sa amin po, hindi naman agad ng numbers. Pero right now, after 4 years, we set up our leaders na prepared to handle at least more na i-evangelize. Kaya po ang amin ngayon, we have transition toward wide part ng ministry kasi the leaders are prepared. Meron ng mga 50 to 60 small group leaders that are prepared to handle new people na may evangelize. So,
Yung nag-start ka
yun
mag-tinit,
po
ilan
yung
lang
naging
yung group leader mo? Jo?
konti lang po talaga eh. Sobrang konti. Tapos,
Wala pang 10, diba? Walang 10.
opo. During the time, 30 years old yung church. 30 years na walang church planting. After, during the pandemic, plus 3 years sa TNET, nakapag-church plant kami ng 2. Through Zoom pa yung isa sa Kamsur. Tapos, 30 families naman dito sa may Towerville. Ngayon, we started na ginagather every first month yung mga community doon for introduction ng corporate worship. So, yun po yung nagiging
Result.
setup. Opo, hindi po siya madali, pero iba-iba po yung terms ng growth. Kagaya po sa amin, mas prepare yung leader na lumabas na ngayon. Ang usapan na ngayon, lumabas para mag-evangelize. Kasi meron ng prepare na small groups and leaders na mag-handle po nung mga mari-reach out po. So yun yung naging effect nung sa amin po doon. So kahit gaano kalaki yung church, malaki o maliit, matanda o bata, o anumang circumstances, naturally, mag-grow po talaga yung church. Yun po yung isa sa mga na-observe ko po dito sa ating ministry.
Pastor Jonathan, mayroon tayong estudyante sa Nueva Ecija. Nag-join siya, galing siya ng San Juan, Metro Manila, na balitaan niya sa kanyang kaibigan na mayroong sisimulan na TNET dito sa Nueva Ecija. And nagta-travel siya from Manila to Nueva Ecija. Alam nyo, between course 1 to course 2, he was able to plant a church in Nueva Ecija. Applying yung mga natutunan niya. DBS, Southeast Star, small group. Ngayon ay growing yung church niya. Nagpapatuloy dito sa Nueva Ecija. And he's now attending, isa sa mga estudyante natin, Pastor Jonathan, nag-transfer na yan sa NSC. And
Yes po.
yun lang, hindi niya alam yung gagawin niya. Kasi yan parang gusto niyang pumasok sa ministry, hindi siya graduate ng seminary, nagtatrabaho lang yan sa isang office, pero nag-challenge siya, in-apply niya yung natutunan niya sa TNET. Yun, ngayon mayroon na siyang strong church sa Nueva Ecija.
Saka ang encouragement po sa ating pong program ay meron pong coaching part. Kahit
Yes.
tapos na po yung every course, meron pong after course, tapos materials, and then meron po tayong coaching part na can help all different kind of struggle, best practices na makakatulong po dun sa ating pong mga mag-e-exist na challenges na kakaharapin. Yun po yung maganda doon sa ating program. May mga coaching po talaga nangyayari. Sa akin po, ang testimony ko, ang naipagkatiwala po sa akin mga bishop po doon sa Nueva Ecija. So nakakatuwa kasi very diverse yung kanilang ministry. Meron pong isang 22 churches yung kanyang minamanage. Yung iba naman po talagang very big ministry yet. Yung mga pastors na yan talagang they are actively and very excited sa ginagawa po ng Lord sa kanila. Yan. Kaya yun po, encouragement po na makikita talaga yun kamay ng Panginoon na kaya po talaga natapusin yung Great Commission.
Yes.
Una po sa ating mga pamilya, pangalawa po doon sa mga community natin sa ating barangay. Ngayon po ang Nueva Ecija, 75 pastors. They are looking forward
Amen.
na isaturate talaga at i-finish yung Great Commission sa buong Nueva Ecija. Tapos pagtutulungan nila yung mga next provinces sa biyaya po ng Panginoon. Kaya we
Amen.
encourage po kayo
That's grace.
na pag-pray po ninyo kung ano po yung
Ay,
leading
this is
ng
for
Lord
you.
sa inyo. Opo. Nandito po yung ating program at yung ating mga pastors to encourage and help po yun sa bawat isa po sa atin. So Pastor Bong, dito sa Bagong Silang, talagang looking forward tayo pag-pray natin na makatulong tayo dito sa mga churches dito sa
Yeah, maraming
Caloocan,
churches dito.
saka sa Manila. Yes po.
Yung church planting movement po natin the past 20 years, ang observation po namin is maraming napaplant na church. Pero yung mga napaplant na church, kung paano iniwan ng pastor, ganun na po sila. Yun yung una. Pangalawa po, yung mga church na na-plant, hindi nila kaya mag-plant ng panibagong church. So yung church planter na gifted, siya lagi ang nagpa-plant. So a handful of people plant the church and then they will leave the church and plant another one. Pero yung mga churches mismo, hindi nanganganak. So once na i-apply nila yung TNET training, no, i-grow po nila yung church to a level na kaya nila manganak ng bagong church. So each church planted can plant another church. Okay, so ang key secret po ni TNET is equip the lay leaders and deploy them to do the work. Hindi lang po si pastor. So si pastor, he will be equipping the lay. Kaya mga church planter, puro lay people, hindi pastor. Tapos yung lay people pa, mabilis silang sumuot-suot sa kung saan-saan. Kasi yung mga tao, comfortable with them. Kasi ang tingin sa kanila, kabaro. Nagtatrabaho ka rin, nagtatrabaho din ako. Teacher ka, teacher din ako. Pag pastor, pastor ka, ako hindi pastor. No, kaya yung pastor, mas effective yung lay leaders, sumuot sa kung saan-saan para mag-church planting. Kasi they're more relatable. So, ganun po nangyari. And then, eventually, some of them will come full-time once the church is established. Yun po yung idea. So, si TNET, meron po rin siyang kurso ng church planting. Meron po 36 lessons na itatrain mo in-house ang church planter. How to set up the church plant. From infancy, na mag-start ka pala ng Bible study group, hanggang sa magkaroon na siya ng leadership and worship. Meron pong step-by-step training si TNET, which we will pass to the student and they will train the church planters they're deploying. So sa Gospel Church of Manila, yung 21 na naging 21 church, majority of their church planters are actually lay leaders, not pastors. So they train the lay leader to start their own church, house church. Then from the house church, naging church planting endeavor. No? So a good example dun is, I remember during the pandemic is meron silang hina-house blessing sa Subic. No, the church is based in Manila. Meron silang anak ng miyembro, may bahay sa Subic. So nagsimula sa house dedication. So ginawa nila doon sa home dedication, nag-invite ng kapitbahay, nag-challenge mag-Bible study, inopen niya home niya for Bible study small group. Okay, and in less than 6 months, they have already dedicated more than 10 or 14 homes. Kasi nangyari, yung mga nag-attend later, sabi nila, Pastor, i-dedicate mo rin yung bahay ko. Tapos mag-invite ako ng iba pang kapitbahay. Tapos mag-altar call ulit tayo at mag-invite. So, tawa kong tawa. Sabi ko, pwede pala yun, no? So, by dedicating the home, they invite their neighbors and relatives and started the house church. Then, in less than a year, may worship na sila. And in less than 2 years, may full-time worker na po yung Subic branch nila. Which started with a family na nag-dedicate ng home nila na anak ng isang small group leader sa church. Nagkataon sa Manila yung nanay, yung anak na lalaki, nasa Subic. Bumili ng bahay sa subdivision, nagpa-dedication, naging outreach po. Yun po yung nangyari dun sa subdivision nila sa Subic. And then, naging church plant later. Marami po tayo mga iba-ibang storya. Barangay. Ako po kasi mas office and campus. May makilala ko mas public school. Meron tayong estudyante, meron silang 6 na public school na nire-reach out. Meron silang ministry team sa bawat public school. So as they will reach the student, then they will reach the family of the student. And then they will bring them to church. Tapos pag malayo na yung area, they will plant another church. So ganun po yung strategy nila. Okay po, ayoko na po kayo patagalin dahil 9:30 na po. Yung iba po is bedtime na. Thank you for your time and I hope to see you in one of our centers po. Please do consider being part of the TNET training. At least attend the first course to have the feel. You can click the link I sent or contact our trainer, Pastor Dario, me, or si Pastor Jonathan kung paano kayo i-direct to a center that is nearest. You can also decide to host a center. My church hosted the first TNET center. Kaya lang yung nangyari nga is ako yung naging country director. So na-pull out na po ako sa church namin with the blessing of the leaders of the church. So they acknowledge that I'm calling to wider ministry and they released me happily naman. Yeah. So, grace of God. No? So, ganun po nag-start. I hosted, meaning kami po yung host church, meaning kami yung venue for the training, for the first year. So, si Pastor Dario po sa amin nagtumutuloy yan dati for the 5-day class. So, they will stay in our church for 5 days. Kaya po yung trato na namin magkakapatid kasi stay in po talaga yung setup namin dahil ang trainer namin from other country. Sayang po na once a week, kaya 5 days talaga kami. Because they stay in the church. So my church hosted the first. And then, ganoon din po yung maraming centers natin are hosted in different churches. Okay, so you can be the host. Okay, if you are the host, then meron kami mga things to request from you. Then dapat may agreement din ng church. Kasi siyempre gagamitin namin yung kuryente mo. Diba? Saka yung location mo. So there are things that we have to talk about. And hopefully yun nga, makastart ng center sa bawat city, sa bawat municipality ng Pilipinas para matapos po yung Great Commission because we're equipping more and more churches and lay leaders to make disciples, Jesus way. Okay po, so I'll close the time na po kung wala na kayong tanong. Sige po, let's pray. Maraming salamat, Panginoon, for all who attended our orientation tonight. Ang prayer po namin is that we will be able to understand more about this program, na yung mga kasagutan namin at alinlangan, kayo po yung mangusap, Lord. We want to pray that if this is what you want for us and our ministry or church, that you will make it clear to us, provide us the time, the means, the way to get leadership agreement na mag-implement and apply ng principles. So Lord, we pray that you would fill up our different centers with willing pastors and students who will study, learn and apply, and we will be able to impact the entire country in our generation na matapos po ang work of the gospel. So maraming salamat po for the opportunity to participate. We pray that this movement will continue to grow as you enable us. Maraming salamat. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Salamat po.
Thank you po. Pagpalain kayo ng Panginoon.
So,
Pasok
when
ko
you
sa-
attend when you attend the seminar, tanong nyo po muna is the discipleship seminar, what's the purpose? Some of them are inspirational. Diba? You will feel inspired. Oh, wow. Pero when you go back to church, you don't know what to do. Some naman, they're instructional. No? Bibigyan kanya ng curriculum or books what to use. Okay? TNET, ang pinaprovide natin, infrastructure development. How do you create a system to manage the health and growth of every member in the entire church so that they will become multiplying disciple makers? So yun po yung difference nung iba-ibang programa. No, they are all needed pero kasi meron siyang distinct difference. No? So posible pag attend mo, tuturuan ka niya paano gamitin itong 5 libro. Pero hindi ka niya tuturuan how to manage the church in terms of diba kung may 100 small groups ka na, paano maging 200, paano may manage yung 2,000. Hindi po yun yung purpose niya. Ang purpose niya lang, matutunan mo paano i-facilitate yung libro nila. Pero yung sa atin, hindi. Ours is beyond that. We want to help the church develop a system of multiplying leaders for many generations. Yun po yung difference. So when you attend a conference or seminar, maganda po tanongin, ano yung purpose nito? Is it inspirational, instructional, or is it infrastructure building na ang magiging result? Then makikita natin, hanggang inspiration lang pala to. Kulang, kailangan ko na iba. Yun kasi marami po tayong conference in-attend na excited tayo mag-alagad pero yung church hindi nagbabago. Mas kinataon-taon discipleship yung in-attend na. Kasi nga wala yung sistema para patakbuhin at palitan ang kultura. So thank you for your time. Magandang gabi po. Kuya Dario, kamusta na lang kay Pastor Erwin? Mukhang hindi ka giniginaw dyan
Maganda rito sa kanyang building. nasa third floor kami.
Yes.
Mm.
Yung may barracks ba yung tutulugan nyo? Yung may bunk bed?
Oo, pang barracks.
Yes, doon din ako natulog
Ganun ba?
Oo.
Pasulayo.
Kasi may para sa army guest nila yan
Oo nga Pag pwede ninyo, may meeting kami dito bukas together with General Pasis ng Port Magsaysay.
Wow.
Pag-uusapan namin kung how to disciple yung mga people in uniform. How can we use TNET para i-disciple sila?
Wow, thank you.
In-extend pala Pastor Leo ng NSC yung invitation sa inyo this coming Monday.
Ano meron?
Doon sa anniversary ng NEPW.
NSC?
Oo, Nueva Ecija Prayer Warriors. Kayo daw ni Pastor Alvin.
Kailan yun? Sa 18?
Monday 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
Online or live?
Hindi, face to face.
Sa 18?
18.
Nasa CJOL 30th anniversary ako
Ay, ganun ba?
Oo nga Di pali po,
Oo.
sabihin ko na lang kay, hingin ko na lang details bukas kay Raymond. Baka pwede po si Alvin. Sa 18 po kasi Baguio ako. Ako naman yun nasa Baguio.
Okay.
For the CJOL 30th anniversary camp ng Pasto.
Okay. Pastor Jonathan, naakyat ka ba ulit ng Nueva Ecija?
Kapag pinag-utos sa akin walang malayo, walang malapit.
Good night.
Sige
Pastor
po.
Gilbert, let's keep in touch na lang po Sige, bye. Good night, good night.
Sige po.
Salamat po,
Bye.
Pastor Leo. God bless po.
Baka pwede tayo mag-meet face-to-face one time, Pastor Gilbert.
Ay, would love
Kalapit
to
lang
do
tayo
that.
We're near. We're
Opo,
very,
opo.
very near.
Sige po. Thank you po.
So, okay po ako sa Robinson's place.
SM Manila po ang katabi namin.
Okay.
Sige po.
Okay, bye.
Meron po dalawa rito na...
po dito.
In-encourage po.
Hello po, pastors.
Papadala po kami.
Yes, Pas.
Papadala kami. Both pastors and lay people. Papadala po kami.
Huwag po lahat
Opo.
Wow, praise God.
Kasi po, pag nagpadala
Salamat
po
po,
kayo, tapos
Pastor
lahat
Leon.
nag-attend, wala na silang tuturuan sa church. Yeah.
Kasi po,
Diba kasi assignment nila, train your lay leaders, 10 lessons on evangelism. Ay, nag-attend na lahat. Wala silang assignment. Sige po ate.
Para
Thanks,
po
thanks.
humayo.
Thank you.
Salamat po. God bless po.
God bless, God bless.